Welcome everyone. It's lovely to have you here. Christine and myself will be sharing this wonderful webinar, Nature's Magic in Essential Oils. I'll just introduce myself and then pass over to Christine to introduce herself. My name's Soraya Saraswati. I live in Australia and I've been using essential oils for about 40 years now. But I've been using these particular oils because of their therapeutic quality for the last 20 years. I spent 20 years working as a naturopath. Prior to that, I studied dental therapy, which was great because I know now how important our oral health is to our overall health. I have taught yoga and meditation and mindfulness for the last 35 years. And I also sing for peace. And I've had the pleasure of working with Young Living Essential Oils now, as I said, for 20 years. And I love the products and I love sharing them. And I love sharing lots of information, inspiring people to live a healthy lifestyle that honors not only themselves, but offers loving kindness toward others and toward the wonderful Mother Earth. So I'll pass over to Christine to share a little now. Christine?
Yes, good evening, everyone. Well, I live also in Australia. I was born in Paris and moved in Australia 25 years ago now. And I actually did study aromatherapy yesterday, in my 20s, almost yesterday. And I'm a Reiki master and teacher. I also do some shamanic work and a lot of different workshops, really interesting in well-being, in healing, in balance and harmony. And I started to work now with Young Living when I discovered these oils, and I must say that really they changed my life and the way I do a lot of my healings and treatment and teaching. So now I must say that I have adopted the Young Living way of life, and you know, they have been really very giving.
Thank you, Christine. So we'll go on now and share as much as we can in this webinar tonight with you. Please feel free to add your questions and we'll be very happy to address any questions we can here. This is just a little picture of me actually in South America at the Young Living farm there in Ecuador. And that wood you can see behind me is Palo Santo. And the Palo Santo wood creates the most incredible oil. It's the South Americans' equivalent to frankincense, and it's an oil and aroma used very much by the shamans down there. The trees are not cut down. The wood is only taken when the trees die, and then it has to be left as it is there, piled up for years before it's actually distilled, chipped and then distilled to receive the oil. So at the farm there, they've been taking care of the Palo Santo. So this webinar we're offering tonight is designed, as Young Living is, to improve nutrition and enhance our well-being. It's not designed to diagnose, treat, or cure disease. So that's just a little disclaimer there. We are not allowed by law to make therapeutic statements. So we'll be being as ethical and compliant as we can. The Young Living company has an amazing range of oils, and some oils that you won't find anywhere else. We have over 80 single oils and over 80 different blends of oil that have been specifically put together by Gary Young himself, who began this wonderful company. And he, I have to say, having spent time with Gary, was an alchemist. Young Living ships now to over 100 countries. So it is a global company. And it's a company that's been thriving. Even after 20 years, it is still growing in an incredible way. I've already mentioned Gary Young. Gary Young is the founder of Young Living with his wife, Mary Young. But Gary is the inspiration. When he was in his early 20s, he had an accident, was hit on the head in a logging accident, and ended up in a wheelchair, unable to walk. He became incredibly depressed and had, as you can imagine, a long journey with grief, and decided, after fasting for 40 days, because he wanted to end his life, he was actually really going through the dark night of his soul. He felt something in his big toe, which gave him hope. So he began to study nutrition and naturopathy, and came to know about essential oils, which then became his life's purpose and his life's legacy. Gary faced many challenges from that accident, and sadly he died in 2018. So what he's left behind and what he's taught us, and that legacy will continue on with his wife and sons and some amazing people who run the company, which is based in America but has depots all over the world, as I said, and here in Australia as well. That's just a picture of Gary and myself. I went through a period of grief after losing a child many years ago, and the oils were absolutely wonderful for me in overcoming that grief, in journeying through the grief in a really healthy way and coming out the other side. That's a picture of Gary again there in Oman under a frankincense trees. These trees are just amazing. They're ancient. And Young Living has an agreement with the government of Oman to look after some of the ancient frankincense trees there. And our frankincense oil is really the king of our essential oils in Young Living. It's an oil that has had an ancient history right back pre-biblical times. However, it's mentioned many times in the Bible. It was used in ancient Egypt and all through the Middle East. Something that we're very proud of, and I suppose for me, it really meant the tipping point where I just fell in love with this company, is that Gary loved nature. He was a farmer at heart. So for him, it was very important to actually find pristine land on which to farm, and also to wild harvest some of our oils. We have farms all over the world, so this company is sustainable. We have farms in France, America, in Canada, in Croatia, in Australia, Tasmania, India, Hawaii, and New Zealand. We have so many share farms as well. And I could talk a lot about the farms, but it all starts with a seed, and the quality of that seed is so important, that seed is pure and it's hasn't been hybridized at all. Soil is, of course, our next important thing. And going back to the roots of a plant in soil, it's so important that that plant is organically grown and fed with organic fertilizers, or not. Some of our herbs grow better when they're not fertilized, and they have a a higher amount of potent essential oil. When I was in Ecuador, I saw they have massive worm farms and composting, and it's just wonderful to see that organic gardening. Then, of course, the oil has to be extracted from the plant, and that's called distillation. So the herbs are generally chopped, some of the barks are chipped, and then they go into a great big pot. And you can see there's a picture of myself, and that's one of the big distillery pots in Ecuador again, actually. And that plant matter goes in there, and then it's cooked. And how it's cooked is important. Many companies whip up the heat and pressure because they can get the oil extracted more quickly. Gary discovered, however, that if we lower the pressure and the heat, the therapeutic qualities of those oils are much higher. And there's, as you can see in this picture here, this beautiful Idaho blue spruce oil, it still has the color there. And you can see that in some of our other oils like the blue cypress, which is just a beautiful blue color naturally. Research, though, and technology is also incredibly important. And Dr. Booth, which I should have had a picture of him here, he's an amazing man, runs the research and science team in America at Young Living's base. And they have some of the most amazing top machinery to measure every component in every oil, and it's measured not once, not twice. Then it's sent to an independent science laboratory to be checked so that we know that we have the highest therapeutic qualities in the oils that we receive. And I've actually been to America and been to the base, had a look at the science department there and all the amazing machinery, which is beyond this little brain, to ensure that we have the best quality. And it's mind-blowing what they're doing there and the research that they're doing for the future and how we can use essential oils therapeutically in the future as well. So essential oils, they're extracted from herbs, from flowers, from roots, from seeds. Most of them are distilled, but some are pressed, like our citrus oils, which come actually from the rind, like orange oil comes from the rind of the orange. But the power of aroma is something that's quite magical. And we have this, the olfactory nerve in the nose, which connects to the limbic system of the brain and the olfactory bulb there. And the limbic system governs our emotional memory. So this is why sometimes we can smell something and it'll take us back to our childhood or to a past, or we'll associate a smell with a place or even a person. But also as we inhale and the fragrance goes into the nerve and this olfaction component is happening instantly, tiny little molecules are being absorbed into the nasal mucosa. So essential oils are working on so many different levels just from the point of view of aroma. How can we use an essential oil? There are many ways to use an essential oil. Young Living sells, as I said, it has over 80 single oils and over 80 blends of different oil. Now, those oils themselves can be used. We can diffuse oils, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Many oils we can use direct, and we can pick up our bottle of oil, and I just happen to have a bottle of frankincense oil here. And I'll use the lavender actually because that one's open. And we can just tilt that bottle and allow one drop to fall into the center of our palm. And this is a powerful energetic center. We have chakras in the center of the palm. And if we just take 2 fingers and circle that 3 times, and we circle it clockwise because that's the way the telomeres in our DNA move, in that clockwise direction, then we can apply that oil somewhere on the body. And I'm going to apply this lavender, which is calming and relaxing, just on the back of my neck, in that little indentation where the brain talks to the body. Lavender is also wonderful for our skin. So I'm going to rub my palms together now and just hold my palms, cup them, and have that beautiful aroma coming in. So my hands and the warmth of my hands becomes a human diffuser. When we take a bottle and we want to actually experience an oil, it's better if we hold it down about our heart level. And then you can begin to circle that bottle up rather than bringing it straight to the nose. And as you're inhaling this way, there are many layers to an oil. You know, there's undertones and overtones, particularly in the blends. So rather than take that bottle straight to the nose, circle it up, take time, feel the energy, because essential oils are living life force. They're not dead, they're actually alive. And we're dealing with an energetic essential oil here, pure energy. Another wonderful way to use the oils is, as you can see in the picture here, with the roller ball. And can you see on this oil, which is a Thieves roller, there's a little roller ball which is a stainless steel roller ball on the top, like the one you can see in the picture. So I can just take this and roll it somewhere on my body. That's a wonderful way to use the oils, because especially for men, or if you're working, you can just keep that in your pocket and just roll a little. Your oils go a lot further that way. Now, if one of my bottles was almost empty, what I can do is take the lid off that bottle. Young Living actually sells these wonderful little rollers, and you get one in your first kit when you join. You can pull out the cap and pop in the roller. But if you've got just a little bit of oil left, to make it go further, you can add in a bit of base oil, like some V6 or some almond oil, or your favorite oil. Coconut oil is not so good because it can go hard, and that doesn't work in the roller. Pop in the roller, give it a really good shake, and you can use that and get the most out of the last little bit of oil in your bottle as well. Also, for dilution for children and for babies, the roller balls are absolutely fabulous. Diffusing is our next way of using the essential oils. And Young Living has an amazing range of incredible diffusers. It has dry diffusers, it has wet diffusers, it has diffusers, as you can see here, for children. And then there's some very beautiful diffusers for depending on your decor in your home or in your office or in your healing space. And by diffusing an oil, we're actually suffusing the energy of that oil in the entire atmosphere of that space. Also, you know, some of the oils are very good for calming the mind, for soothing the throat and the chest, for helping us to feel relaxed and calm. Other oils are stimulating and help us prepare for study and have the mind feeling clear. So we can adapt what oils we put in our diffuser depending on how we want that atmosphere to feel and what we want to achieve in that atmosphere. So here's a wonderful little chart of some of the oils that you can diffuse, and you can take a little screenshot of that with your camera if you like, because there's some great ideas there. For instance, with RC, as you can see, it has eucalyptus oil in it, amongst other oils, but it helps us to breathe easy. So now if someone had the sniffles, you might choose to put some RC in the diffuser in the bedroom at night, or in the office if there's something going around. If you're studying, you might choose lemon or peppermint, because that helps with alertness and concentration for study. Lavender is calming, of course. And then there's a beautiful blend called peace and calming, which is relaxing for the whole family. So there's some ideas there, oils that you can use in your diffuser very simply. I'll talk a little bit about the difference between fragrance and essential oils. It's a very big difference. In fact, fragrance is formed in a chemical laboratory, basically. And fragrance uses inorganic compounds. Sometimes fragrance use compounds that have come from animals, as well as things that have been synthesized. And many, many people, including myself, are allergic to fragrance. And I think this is one of the main reasons I always steered toward essential oils. When I was very young, my mother was an Avon lady. And if you haven't heard of Avon, Avon is a company that sells lots of perfumes, and everything has fragrance in it. Very strong fragrance. And I would get a headache every time my mother pulled out all her perfumes. And I still can get a headache if I walk into a shop that has fragrant candles or those fragrant sticks. I immediately get affected. And actually, many, many people do. And one of the chemicals that they use are phthalates. Phthalates or phthalates, you will often see that on a label, although people can get, the companies can get away with just saying fragrance and you have no idea what's in there. They can even say fragrant essential oils, and it doesn't mean there's any essential oils in there, because a lot of essential oils that are sold are actually chemically synthesized, particularly lavender and rose, which is interesting. But I think that's just because they're so well known and so popular, wouldn't you say, Christine?
Yes, they are, yeah.
Yeah, and Christine would know this coming from Paris, because in France, lavender is really well known.
Very popular, yeah. One of the most popular plants, probably.
But much of it's synthesized, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, in the family, they also use, in the countryside, they also use the flower. So they, you know, my grandmother was using little satchel that she was sewing herself, putting the flower to dry in the linen. That's beautiful. But candles and all this stuff is full of fragrance, yeah.
Yes, I actually used to sew little bags of lavender for my children when they were young too. That was something I loved to do. So what are all these chemicals doing in our lives? And as we know, so many people now are suffering from cancer and other very serious diseases. And I personally firmly believe, and of course this has been evidenced by science as well, that it is partially, if not in a very large part of, The reason is because of the chemicals that we have in our life these days. There's been 70 to 100,000 chemicals there is now available on the market. And studies have shown that, and this is quite scary, that there's 287 chemicals found in the umbilical cord blood of infants. Isn't that sad? 180 were known as known carcinogens, and 217 toxic to the brain and nervous system. 208 cause birth defects and abnormal development. Now, when a weakness is formed in a growing child, that child may end up having health issues in their life, but they also hand that down to the next generation too. So it's something we really need to be aware of. Everything from the soap that you wash your hands with, which could contain all sorts of chemicals, to the toothpaste you use. What do you clean your house with? And this goes on and on and on, particularly in a woman's makeup bag, and in many, many beauty products are really full of chemicals. So Young Living has developed a range of household products, beauty products, makeup products, as well as the essential oils to help us to claim our health back by choosing wisely. These are just some of the chemicals that you'll find in many of the products that you might have in your own cupboards. And usually when I do a personal coaching session with someone, I'll say, right, let's have a look at what's in your cupboards. Let's have a look at some of those labels. You know, what are you putting under your armpits? What are you putting on your face? Because the skin is one of our biggest organs, and we absorb everything through the skin. So tonight we're going to talk about some of the oils and products from the Premium Starter Kit, which is a way that you can join Young Living, enjoy these therapeutic oils, but also be part of a global team that is committed to health and well-being. And the first oil that I'm going to share about tonight is lavender. And both Christine and I have visited the lavender, Young Living's lavender farm in Provence in France. And also I've been to the lavender farm in America as well. And interestingly enough, when Gary Young first became fascinated and wanted to know more about essential oils, he went to France and he studied under an aromatherapist there who was also a farmer of lavender. And Gary took some lavender seeds, he smuggled them back to America, and the American lavender farms there were started from those seeds from an old family of farmers from Provence in France. Lavender is a very gentle oil, and it's gentle enough to be used on babies and children as well as adults. It's calming, it's relaxing, and we can apply lavender in so many different ways. For baby, a lavender massage, you know, with some beautiful coconut oil, or we have a beautiful base oil in Young Living as well, and a few drops of lavender, and having a baby massage is wonderful. We can actually also use lavender for our skin. It's wonderful for our skin. And Young Living has a whole range of wonderful shampoos and soaps which use the beauty and these calming, relaxing, soothing benefits of lavender oil. Lavender bath is also great. Some Epsom salts and some lavender in a bath is just very calming if you've had a big day. And here is a little recipe. You can take a picture of that if you have your phone there, of a luscious lavender bath soak. So you can use baking soda, Himalayan sea salt. You can use some dried lavender flowers in that as well if you like, or some other flower petals. That always makes it feel a little bit more indulgent then. Put some candles on, add some lavender. You might want to add some drops of orange or frankincense. Mix all that together, pop it in a nice warm bath. Light your candles and enjoy. I love to do it myself. Now, lemon oil is a very different story. Lemon is uplifting, it's clearing, it's cleansing. And often I actually, in workshops, do an aura cleanse with lemon. And that's quite simple. You can put a couple of drops of lemon oil in your palm, rub your palms together, and actually just brush over the aura, particularly if you're feeling a bit sticky or yucky because you've maybe been in a situation that left some bad vibes, bad feelings. And you can share that with other people too. They can do you and you can do them. But popping some lemon in the diffuser will really help to keep your mind sharp if you're studying. And do look up, write this down, D-limonene. Now, most of our citrus oils have D-limonene in them, and it has fantastic therapeutic qualities, which can really help us. So do look that up. I'm not allowed to say anything about it here. But lemon can also be used as a culinary oil as well, because lemons aren't available all year, are they? So one drop of lemon oil in something will just give that beautiful zest to it as well. A little tip for cleaning is that on a cotton ball, just a drop of lemon will take off sticky labels. So I probably go through at least a bottle of lemon oil every month because I use it in the diffuser. I add it to when I make up my spray to clean the benches with Thieves oil. I'll also add some lemon oil to that. We use it for so many things here, the lemon oil. Every day I put it in my water as well. So it's an absolutely essential oil to have.
It's good also to know that if you have a bit of a sore throat, you can put one drop in a bit of honey or just one drop on your hand and just put the drop on your finger and right on the top of your mouth, on the roof of your mouth. It's absolutely amazing.
Yes, and it is registered here in Australia as a culinary oil, and I think in Europe they're called the vitality oils, those that can be ingested. And I have to say, because I'm a singer and I'm traveling sometimes, I really have to make sure I don't get a sore throat. So I've actually been seen to have the lemon oil up and dropping it straight in the throat. So thanks for that reminder, Christine. This is another great one. If you're just feeling a little bit vulnerable, you might be feeling like you're coming down with something and you just want something warm and therapeutic to sip, then you can just make in a mug of hot, not boiling water, add a drop of these and a couple of drops of lemon, a little bit of honey or maple syrup to taste, and sip on that. You'll get all the lovely spicy flavors of the Thieves oil, which can be very helpful for killing any nasties, as well as the lemon. I've also mentioned that we can add lemon oil to our water, but here's some of the other ones you can add to your water as well. There's grapefruit oil and lemon oil. Citrus fresh is an amazing blend of all the citrus oils. There's orange oil, tangerine, lime. And in the water, you might want to, chop up some lemon slices or add some mint. Peppermint's another one. And Christine, you've got a favorite too, haven't you?
Yeah, fennel. Fennel is my favorite in water. Yeah, it's beautiful. And really, you know, it's soothing and at the same time helps digest easily. So it's a fabulous one too.
I remember in the old days they would give dill water, which is like like fennel, to babies to soothe their colic. So fennel's wonderful for that too. Orange oil is one of my favorites, and now this is a very special oil. It's rich, it's fruity, it's a happy oil, I would say, but it's also calming. So it's really great for the blues. But please look up D-limonene, particularly if you're interested in oils for therapeutic qualities in a particular area. Do look up D-limonene, because this is a very, very special oil. Yes, it's rich and fruity, and it's uplifting and it's joyful, and it helps lift us out of the blues, and it's a very creative oil, but it also has some amazing therapeutic qualities. And I use this in water as well. And sometimes I simply just take it because it's just so good for us. And I'm going to finish with frankincense oil before I pass over to Christine, but I know that this is one of her favorites.
It is, yeah.
We call it the king of the oils, so how could it not be one of our favorites? And remember the picture of the frankincense tree? They're very ancient trees, the old frankincense trees. They can be 1,000 years old. It's quite amazing. And they actually tap the trees and take the sap, which is often burned in little burners in churches and synagogues, and in India and the Middle East it's used a lot as a spiritual oil. And I have to say, Frank, as we call him, frankincense, is really one of our most precious oils. And as I was saying before, for particular physiological problems in the body, orange oil, look at frankincense oil too. And if you'd like to know more about that, please email me on info@saraswati.com and I can send you some more information. There's been some great studies in different universities around frankincense oil as well. Traditionally, it can be used for prayer, for meditation. I'm a yogi, so I just love using frankincense. Is one of my favorites, and also sandalwood is one of my favorites as well for meditation. It's has the quality in the tree. Often we look at the plant and how the essential oil, which is like the life force, the blood of the plant, how it's used in the plant often tells us how we can use it in our bodies. So there's this beautiful alchemy that happens in nature, and we can learn from nature if we observe closely. And the frankincense tree, if it's damaged, it will allow that sap to come out and it will heal that part of the tree. It'll form like a scab over it so that that part of the tree can heal. So frankincense is also used a lot in Young Living skincare. And if you're making your own skincare, then I would highly recommend to look at using frankincense oil. Also for massage over parts of the body that may benefit in that way as well. I know that the Healthy Breast program in Greece now, one of my team members is using the Young Living frankincense because it's so pure in her Healthy Breast program for breast massage. And it's one of the most delicious, wonderful and therapeutic things we can do for ourselves as a woman. And here's a little recipe. So get out your phone again and just click a little picture of that. It's a facial toner that you can make with some organic apple cider vinegar and aloe vera juice gel, a drop of frankincense, lavender and peppermint, and it's beautifully fresh. So I'm going to pass over to Christine now. Christine, would you like to take over?
Yes, of course. So we are talking now about one of the beautiful blend created by Gary, Peace and Calming. That's also a very versatile blend that is made with these oils that Soraya was just talking about, tangerine and orange that are our joy oil, and also ylang-ylang and patchouli, who are, you know, as I say, soothing, bringing this feeling of peace, and also can induce, you know, a feeling of being sensual and happy. And the beautiful blue tansy, which gives this really beautiful tone. So when you diffuse Peace and Calming, or if you use it with a little roller, it really immediately settles. So I use it personally sometime in the diffuser, and in my work, when I feel one of my clients coming for a treatment, he's a bit, you know, agitated, not completely grounded, I will start the treatment with this. It exists as a roller, and it's really something really nice to have in your bag if you live in an environment which is a bit challenging.
Actually, one of my sons found it difficult to sleep at one point when he was young, and this was his favorite oil. We'd put straight Peace and Calming, a couple of drops under each foot, one at the base of his neck, and he'd be sleeping like a baby.
Well, talking about baby, here is a little baby
and
sleeping.
There's the roller there as well that you can.
Exactly, that's a beautiful roller. Yeah, it's really a great tool to have these oils with the roller. So yeah, bringing a deep feeling of relaxation. So that's another of my favorite oil in the healing room and out of the healing room as well. Valor, it's another blend made by Gary, very popular. And you see there is a lion. It's because Valor really inspires courage and confidence. So I use it very often in a treatment with people who need a little boost in their confidence, who are maybe ready to take a step but not completely sure. Valor is what I call one of the high vibration oil for me. It's really resonates deeply with with our psyche, and it's a beautiful oil.
I find it helps to balance the masculine and feminine, and it balances us when we're feeling off balance. You know, it really wraps everything together. And as Christine said, that courage, wonderful.
So this one is also one of the oil we could, say almost a little emergency kit. Panaway, you can understand in the title that it helps to rub on when we have any little problem, any tension anywhere. So Panaway is really high in methyl salicylate, which is the same acid found in aspirin. So you can use Panaway if you have a bit of a migraine, rub it on the side or in this little place that Soraya was showing at the back. You can also put one drop in your hand and just breathe it. But you can rub it using a bit of coconut oil or V6 and putting a couple of drops if you have some pain anywhere in the joint, or just working out a bit too much at the gym. And if you want some extra cooling, there is a little advice that I have personally tried myself to add some extra peppermint, and it's in one of the massage oil actually, and it really works quite well. So that's an image I don't really like, but I think it speaks for itself. So peppermint is one of the oils that we use. I think all of the people who know peppermint use a lot of peppermint. It's very cheap and it's absolutely fantastic because you can use it in the kitchen, you can add it in your water, and it can help you to be really concentrated. It can, of course, freshen the breath, but you can also use it, in your massage oil. It's really fabulous. I use it a lot in the kitchen as well.
I've tasted some of your kitchen delights with peppermint oil. It's really delicious. Christine's very good with some of the raw cooking as well with the peppermint oil. And even a sore belly, if you've eaten too much, peppermint's great, but the next one could be even better.
So that's this lovely little pig, and an oil which is very handy as well for people who have little problem digesting or have been eating a bit too much, or just something is not sitting very well in their belly. Just rubbing a bit of DiGize is absolutely magical. Yeah, it's really a lovely oil, and I know a lot of people using a lot of DiGize in massaging their tummy. People who have some regular problem with their digestive system. It's a good oil to have handy. So that's another favorite of mine, of Soraya, and of Young Living, and actually of so many people. Thieves is really, one of my favorite because actually the recipe comes from a French recipe. It was inspired by the story of thieves, and these thieves to go and inside the houses of the people who were sick or dying, had made a mix of this amazing plant that they were putting on their scarf, on their nose. And the King of France heard about them. They were eventually arrested, and he asked them for the recipe. So it's an amazing product. It smells beautiful. That's one of the oil which is always in one of the diffuser at my place, because you have this amazing mix of clove and cinnamon. It's really welcoming, happy, and very efficient. So
I love the spiciness of it, with cinnamon and the clove and I think we both clean our house with all the thieves.
Exactly. So it's because of the power of thieves, of all this oil, the rosemary, the clove, that Young Living has developed some product with based on thieves. And here you have a little recipe for a whole-purpose spray. So I just, remind you that if you want to do a spray, it's good to use a bottle in glass, because essential oils, really need to be not in plastic. And plastic, as we know, it's really not good, neither for us or for the planet. And it's interesting to see that here, if you use 2 drops of sieve, some drops of peppermint, 8 drops of orange and lemon oil, and 15 millimeters of the sieve cleaner, you top it up with water, you will have a product which is very cheap and, basically very economical, and you bring the power, the magic of nature in your kitchen, instead of having something which is detrimental for your health and for the world. So yeah, it's really, really worth doing it. And
I'll just go over these 3 golden rules just to keep yourself safe, because although essential oils are natural, we still have to be a little careful with them because they absorb into the skin. So we have to take care not to get them in our eyes or in any other delicate areas as well. And some oils are hotter than others, aren't they, Christine?
Yes, I actually made the experience years ago when I had, I'm very reactive to the jumping ant bite. And I had this awful, very swollen bite. And, I was really in pain. So I didn't really check which oils I was taking, and I was putting oil and oil and oil, and I ended up by burning myself. So yeah, always read, which level of dilution, and always have simple vegetable oil that you can dilute your oil. And if ever it goes in your eye, that's the same. Don't put water, just a nice organic vegetable oil at the V6, and it will be fabulous. Yeah.
Or just, if you feel that you've put an oil on and it's a little bit warm, then, or got some in your eye accidentally, just even grab the olive oil in the kitchen and just put a drop on, and that'll soothe it immediately.
Yeah.
And just be aware that the citrus oils can make our skin photosensitive. So if you're going out in the sun, then put that oil, that citrus oil, where the sun don't shine for that day. So I love the oil blend called Joy. It's one of my favorite perfumes, but it has citrus oil in it. So if I'm going out with, just a singlet top on, I'll just make sure that I put my Joy in the heart center underneath the bra somewhere, so it doesn't get exposed to the skin. And we can't make any therapeutic statements because the law doesn't allow us. So just to be aware that we can't claim that oils do anything, but you can do your research because it is all there.
So another favorite product, I don't know if you have heard about NingXia Red. I think both Soraya and I have NingXia Red every morning. NingXia Red is a beautiful drink. You have the bottle here, made with goji berries from the NingXia province in the really high mountain region where it's absolutely unpolluted. And it's really, they call it a Superjuice. It's really a power drink. It brings you all the antioxidants you need to go for your day. So it's recommended usually to have between 50-60 milliliter a day, which is a little shot, a little glass, and you really feel the difference. I know a lot of people, if they stop for a while, they really feel it.
I've noticed naturopathically that having something like this, which is a super juice, and it has your blueberries, it has your pomegranate, it has your goji berries, it has essential oils in it, and so much more, is a food. And you've got to shake the bottle because it's a whole juice. Having a food like this can be better than having a pill, let me just say. And the Young Living products are food based, which is wonderful. We'll just flick this one through quickly because we're coming to the end of our presentation now, but just to show you here how many wonderful home cleaning products there are. And this is one of the bundles that you can buy as a Young Living once you have your account with Young Living. And there's Thieves hand wash, Thieves toothpaste, Thieves dish cleaner, Thieves clothes wash, and the multi-purpose cleaner, which can be used for your mop bucket, which you can make up sprays with, and so much more. So we do have a whole chemical-free range to take care of your home. We also have a whole lot of beauty products for your personal care, beautiful face creams. I have to say I use all Young Living. And if you wear makeup, there is a whole range of Savvy Mineral makeup, which have no nasties and they're cruelty-free. We also have an amazing babies range, the Kids Sense range, which I've bought for my grandchildren so far, and I've got another one on the way who will be receiving this bundle as well. Great gifts. Wish they were around when I had children. Okay, so how do you order? It's quite simple, and there's lots of different options, isn't there, Christine?
Yes, there are lots of options, yeah. you're not a member, you know, you have actually this little guide here. You have the choice either to become a retail customer or become a wholesale customer, which is of course more interesting. And you can choose to have a starter kit, like a basic starter kit, which is really cheap and give you all the advantages of the wholesale, 20% discount. And, you know, the first starter kit is actually just with, is that just with the peace and calming, Soraya?
Well, you can have a basic starter kit, and there's a couple of basic starter kits, and that's very economical, because from the basic starter kit, you can then choose some other products as well to go with that. That way you get a couple of oils, but you can choose something completely different if that's what you want. Or you can do the customized enrollment order, where you can simply order 100 PV, and we can explain that if and when you're going to join. And you can order whatever you like. But our most common way that people join is with one of our premium starter kits. So you are a wholesale customer, you're immediately getting your 24% off, but you can get a premium starter kit. And I'll just show you some of those kits. These are two. So with your premium starter kit, you get 12 oils. So you've really got what I call the home first aid kit there. Or all your go-tos are there. All the oils we've spoken about tonight and more are in this kit. You also get some samples of NingXia Red to try. You get a Thieves spray and a Thieves waterless hand sanitizer, which is wonderful. And it doesn't have a lot of the nasties that the hand sanitizers you buy in the shops have. Please be aware. With all this waterless hand sanitizer at the moment, some of them, read the labels, some of them have very nasty things in there. But with this premium starter kit, you get your 12 oils, lots of samples, the Thieves hand wash and spray, but then you get to choose what diffuser you would like. And here we just have two examples. There's the beautiful lantern diffuser and also the rain stone, which is a nice heavy stone base diffuser, which is very popular as well. And they are prices in Australian dollars, but we can also, in different parts of the world, they'll be obviously in euros in Europe, and New Zealand dollars in New Zealand, and in different parts of Asia, they'll be in different currencies. Or you can start with, just as I mentioned before, a basic starter kit. And this is the one Christine was telling you about, where you can either choose from the culinary basic starter kit, where you get 3 oils, or the simple basic starter kit, where you get 1 oil, which is that beautiful stress away oil, which we didn't actually tell you about tonight, but that's a surprise oil you get in your starter kit. And it's just as it sounds, stress away, with beautiful vanilla bean in it as well, which makes it really rich. Some people who are working on their health choose to start with a premium starter kit with the NingXia Red Superjuice. And in this one, you get 3 750 mils of the Superjuice. You also get a beautiful stress away oil and a Thieves waterless hand sanitizer, as well as an Aroma Glide roller filament, which I was talking about, how you can pop that in your bottle of oil to use as a roller, and some little sample bottles and cards and other little goodies that come there as well. So the next choice you get, which to me is a no-brainer, but everyone's different, is whether you join the Young Living Loyalty Program, or we call it the Essential Rewards Program. And with Essential Rewards, you start to get a lot more benefit from the company. You get, of course, your 24% discount. And for every month that you're on it, you earn, for the first 3 months, 10% back in reward points, and up to 24 months when you're on the ER, you get up to 20% back. And then after that, you get 25% of your points back as reward points. And you can use those to buy any products you like. You just simply have to pay for the postage. There's also lots of beautiful loyalty gifts. So you get, if you know, once you're on the loyalty program, every 3 months you get another beautiful essential oil sent to you as a gift, which is really lovely. Young Living has specials every month as well. And for anyone that's on the loyalty program, they're going to get the most benefits from this wonderful company and really get to explore how rich it is. And lastly, we're a team, aren't we, Christine?
Yes, we are.
And we actually have thousands in our team. This is just a few of us who were at the Young Living Symposium. Was it February or March this year? Wasn't it, Christine?
No, I think it was end of January. Yeah, it was before the COVID story.
Yes, that we were so lucky that we had our symposium before the
Yes.
lockdown in Australia. Because
we had a French, one of our French friends and
oh yes, yep,
and distributor with us, and she came back just on the day of the big lockdown in France.
And yes, that's right. She had to go in for 2 weeks isolation, didn't she?
Exactly, yeah.
That's the lovely lady, Audrey, sitting beside Christine there. And then we've got another one. The woman on my right there is from New Zealand. She's a distributor over there. And her auntie beside her. And then that's my husband in the middle, Terry, who also just loves the oils. Now, we've got some webinars coming up too, and one of them is essential oils for men, which will be wonderful. And we'll have some of our male members as well here sharing how essential oils are not just for women. We also have a webinar coming up, transiting into that change of life, menopause, becoming the wise woman, and how our oils can help with that. We'll have a webinar for mothers and for babies. We'll have one on a chemical-free home. What have I missed, Christine?
I think you said almost everything. Yeah, one of the things I would like to share is that, you know, if you want to join and order or just order some product, you can also one day, or maybe you have the dream of distributing the oils and joining our team. And that's, you know, as soon as you join as you are a distributor, so potentially you can sign people under you, and you know, quite fast, if you share the oil, if you love them, to love them and share them, you can, you know, have the Young Living way of life and help others to have it, and, you know, and make a business out of it eventually.
Yes, it does have the potential for a wonderful home business, and some of the leaders in our team have done just that. They've stopped going out to work and they work from home, running their Young Living business and inspiring people to better health, better nutrition, to get the chemicals out of their home and to honour Mother Earth and to live with loving kindness. So it's a big journey. If you are interested in joining our team, we can set up a one-on-one meeting online or in person and share more with you that way. We'll leave it there, shall we? Is there anything else you'd like to say, Christine?
Not really, or maybe just asking if anyone has a question, or if you prefer to, you know, to contact us later, maybe.
Yep, and I will send everyone who has enrolled for tonight a link to watch this later as well, and also both Christine's and my emails, so you can feel free to contact us. Okay, well, I wish you all a good day if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or a wonderful evening if you're in the Southern Hemisphere.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, Soraya.
You're very welcome, everyone. Bye-bye.